Hello everyone, so as promised, here is the video that talks about the cabinets that we installed in this kitchen. We're going to talk about our experience with RTA Cabinet Supply, which is the company that we bought them from, what we think of the cabinets, and ultimately, do we recommend RTA Cabinet Supply? So this is our experience with RTA Cabinet Supply, and of course we're going to talk about, as I already stated, the quality of these cabinets. So let me tell you how much I paid for these cabinets. Let's take a good look at some of the cabinets here. So there's 3 of them right there. And then there's these giant 42-inch cabinets right here, which are very nice. We have this here, which is actually a mobile island. So it's still a work in progress. We don't really know what we want to do with it, but it's not attached to the wall. It's actually on casters. So I'll give you a good glimpse down there. As you can see, there are the casters right there. And the idea is that we can move this around and, put it over there in the middle when we're baking or whatever. And when we need to put it back, we just bring it back very easily. So it's not attached to the wall. So if it looks a little funny, that's what it is. And then you have these cabinets here. Now notice how this one over here is still a work in progress. I haven't obtained the materials for this. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay. So the total for this project, or for these cabinets, the total was $5,405.86. I bought these maybe a year ago, and that gives you an idea of how much I paid for these, because with the coronavirus pandemic, everything kind of went up in price. So for now, that's the price that I paid. You can expect to probably pay a little more, considering that wood is now very expensive. You can also take note that this table here I made myself. I didn't actually get it from RTA Cabinet Supply, so we're not going to talk about the table that's right there. Okay, but this is what the kitchen looks like. The handles, of course, do not come included with this setup. So there it is. Now we decided to go with a wood style countertop, primarily because, we don't like the granite or the quartz countertops. So let's talk about the quality of some of these cabinets. So let's take a look at this one over here. I'm quite happy with the quality of the cabinets. I absolutely have no complaints about them. They actually are very beautiful. And I really like them. I haven't had any issues with them. So let's open this up to show you what it looks like inside. Excuse the mess in here. It's not really, that well organized. So that's what it looks like with this thing open. And these are soft close. So if you close it, it doesn't slam on the cabinet itself. And the same thing is true for this one over here. So if I do that, so you can see that closes just like that. The same thing is true for these lower cabinets. So as you can see, if I open this, again, excuse the sort of mess that I have going on here, and then I close it, it closes very softly. So that's very nice. I have no complaints there. So there's the toe kick, which of course I still need to merge right there. The funny thing about these toe kicks is I went with a little bit of a different sort of route. These are actually attached by magnets. So folks who install this for a living probably say, hey, you have the toe kick under the dishwasher, which is not supposed to be correct. And you're right. But I thought ahead because I got this dishwasher for free. I put these through magnets. So if I ever need to take this out, that just, detaches from the whole thing. I haven't gotten around to merging it with that piece over there yet, but I will at some point. So, there's a little bit of things that I still need to fix in here. Of course, nothing wrong with the cabinets themselves. Like I said, I have had very good experiences with them, and I have absolutely no problems with them whatsoever. So here's one as well. This is the bigger one. So this cabinet that you see here is a little bigger than the one that you see over there. So when I open this one, you can see that it's substantially bigger. Of course, I can close it out like so. So that is very nice. Okay. So let's give you one final shot of these guys here. And then there's this one right here. So this one, of course, is still a work in progress as well. I haven't gone around to installing all of them. Okay. So when you receive these cabinets, you actually receive them the way that you see them here without the handles. They already come assembled, so I bought the already assembled package, which costs a little bit more. So the cabinets come in a very nice crate. When they delivered them to me, the person just left them on my driveway, and that's it, right? They didn't really help me bring them inside, because I have a gated house, but they just left them out on the front, right? So that wasn't really all that great, but what are you gonna do? So these are the other cabinets that you probably saw in my other video that talk about the Z-line range. These two here, those are very nice as well. So overall, the quality of the cabinets, I have no complaints about. There are a couple of quality control issues that they have. I'm a little disappointed with this board right here. It seems like they screwed it in too tight, and this might be the fault of myself because I installed all of these cabinets. But I didn't really notice because, again, this was one of the first times I've ever installed cabinets. I don't really know too much about this stuff. But I noticed that it was bolted in too much, right? So it kind of deviates from the rest of the cabinets. And at some point, I will fix that. It hasn't bothered me at all. But, I should have taken note of that. That was my fault. So when it mates with the dishwasher, you can see that they obviously deviate. So notice right there, let me see if I can get that out of focus, right there and over there. So see over there, it's more flush, where over here, the thing is kind of sunken in. Again, maybe something I should have checked. So I'm not actually going to attribute that to the cabinets. Maybe I should, but that's just something that you should be aware of if you're going to be installing these yourself. So that's a little bit of a quality control issue that, just kind of keep in mind. So let me talk about my experience with RTA cabinet supply, and here's where things start to get a little bit negative. Unfortunately, I did not have a good experience with this company. And ultimately, I would sort of advise you to not order from this company, and here's why. When I first bought all of these cabinets, I got all of them, but there were a couple of issues. I got all of them except one of these, okay? So one of these just didn't show up. It was gone. And I was a little perplexed. I'm like, well, what did it go? What happened? That was one issue. The other issue is that they sent me this one, but it was damaged. And it was damaged pretty bad. It had scratches all over it. I mean, it was just horrible. This little plate right here, it had scratches all over it. It had cracks. And that was very, very concerning. So I messaged them and I said, hey, I haven't received my other cabinet and this one is damaged. And, they were requesting pictures and whatnot. And sure, I sent it to them, no problem. And that's fine, right? Now, keep in mind, I'm the one installing all of this along with my contractor. So he's the one that does some of the, finishing work. And we got the cabinets, right? And so this is the new one that they sent. And at some point, they sent this one over here. Now, generally, that's not a problem, especially if you're doing this yourself. But if you have a contractor, they're on a tight deadline. They can't be sitting around waiting for you to get your cabinets. They want to install them and get the hell out of there. For someone who is doing this through a general contractor, this can be a huge pain in the butt. So that was a huge delay. So there were 2 weeks easy right there. Okay, that's fine. The other issue, which we didn't discover until later on, was that they actually didn't send us one of these filler boards. So when you get these filler boards, they're actually in like this giant box. We didn't get that. So here we go messaging them again. It's like, hey, you messed up the filler boards. Not only that, when my finisher came in, with the general contractor, when he came in, he noticed that we were missing these big boards right here. So you have a couple of boards, right? You have the filler, which is 3 inches, and you have the boards here, which are usually maybe 5 to 6 inches. So these are the thicker ones, right? We didn't have those, even though we paid for them. So I messaged them back. I say, hey, we're missing these boards, and you missed one of our filler boards as well. Can you send it back? Okay. So they talked to me, blah, blah, blah. All right. So we get that, and guess what? They mess up the color of that board. They send me white boards. At this point, you can probably already tell I am becoming extremely infuriated. I have already had my order messed up 3 times, right? And then they go and send me a white board. So obviously, I message them back and I tell them, hey, you know, this is getting ridiculous. How are you guys messing this up? You know, I need the gray boards. Now, my finished carpenter, right, he can't really do anything. And obviously, I'm wasting his time because, you know, I'm telling him I have everything. And when he comes here, we don't have everything. So, you know, I didn't obviously suffer that much of an impact. But people who are not doing this DIY and who are doing this by hand, right, by themselves, this could be a huge problem, right? This could be a huge problem. So obviously we are pretty damn mad, right? So they send us that. Boom. It gets here. All right. Now we're ready to roll, right? Well, guess what now? The reason why I haven't finished that one over there is because they forgot to send us an additional trim. See that? So we're missing one. Okay? So if you need a lesson from all of this, my lesson to you is to unpack everything. Unpack everything and make sure that you have everything. So my Finnish guy came in, he installed those, and then he says, where's the other one? And I say, what? Now, keep in mind, it's already been about a year, right? Because, you know, obviously the coronavirus pandemic has made everything slower. And my guy is, you know, super busy. And I can't find anyone else. He's the only one that I trust. So he comes back after maybe like a year, right? And he says, okay, where's the other piece? What other piece? They didn't send it to us. So are they going to honor their, you know, screw up after a year? Probably not, because they will probably tell me, oh, you should have checked. But, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to see what happens. But RTA Cabinet Supply has been a nightmare to deal with. You know, their customer service is good, right? But these quality control issues, you know, they're just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And, you know, I myself find just getting more and more angry that I purchased these from a company like RTA Cabinet Supply. I should have just gone with someone else. Okay? But that's our experience with this company. You know, you might have a better experience. We personally will never purchase from RTA Cabinet Supply ever again. We're going to go with another company because, you know, we just can't have all of these infuriating issues. You know, we're just getting angry and we're getting nowhere. So what should have been maybe a 7 to 8 month job, because, you know, like I said, I'm doing most of this myself, has now turned into over a year, all because they just keep giving us all these screw ups. So ignore all the little errors that I have around here that I haven't finished, right? The toe kick still needs a little bit of work. But other than that, you know, that's our experience. If you have any questions or any concerns, if you have comments, if you want to know something about this kitchen that we're not mentioning to you, please let us know. Later on, we're going to do a review of that little section over there that we remodeled. That's our living room, which is also a work in progress. But we'll let you know. That's our experience. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.